Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mask and Cow. This is episode 11, I think. Yeah,
11.
and
11.
that's Ben. I'm Justin, and we're here today to talk about some movies that we watched over the past week. I had a really good time. You said you watched a show, so we're gonna talk about that here
hmm
soon. First off, how you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Just a little sore from weightlifting, of course, but overall doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We're both expecting some snow this weekend, right? Yeah, you're supposed to get it.
Yeah, suppose. Oh, that's what they said. Well, they said that it was gonna be a huge storm, and we looked it up yesterday, and it's like where we are, we're only supposed to get like 1 to 3 inches.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, if you looked at the local WalMarts, though, you'd be like, "Oh my goodness, this is like
Yeah, I
the
probably
toilet
should have
paper
gone to
during
Walmart today, but
Corona."
yeah, we didn't. But I mean, we
That's all
got
right. You
plenty
guys
of
are
stuff
pretty
stocked
stocked
up.
up usually.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. It's about the normal amount. So I'm just a little worried about power going out. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. That's
Um,
why we're getting this out now.
oh yeah, that's why. That's why. Not because I couldn't wait
Yeah.
to talk about some of these movies. Okay, so where do you want to
I'm
start?
excited to hear what these movies that you're so excited to talk. Let's do like one or two of your movies, then we'll do my show, and then you can wrap it up
Okay,
with the
okay,
other
yeah,
one.
yeah. I could do two rapid fire because um, they're they're both kind of quick in my opinion. I don't want to talk much about them. We talked at length last week about Lord of the Rings because I had just finished the first book. After we got off or whatever, I went and did I did some chores around the
Fellowship.
house or whatever, and I watched Fellowship. I watched the extended edition. It was the first time I have like thoroughly enjoyed that movie because I understood everything that was going on and I got all the context or whatever.
Mm.
I did thoroughly enjoy it. I still think though at best it's like an 8 out of 10 because I do think I could 100% just be stupid. But I do not think that movie feels just scatterbrained all over the place. I understand what's happening, but I feel like I only finally understand like clearly everything that's happening because I've got the context of all the books stuff filling it in. That movie, like I really enjoyed it, but I feel like I was filling in so many gaps. Or like better understanding of what's actually going on. I feel like it's just kind of go 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 in that movie, which is weird because it's kind of slow, and everyone says Fellowship is the slowest, which it is. But like they've got so much to cover that it just keeps going, and there's not, which is nice. There's not exposition. Exposition is usually considered a bad thing, but exposition if done right can be good. But I really liked it. I even, oddly enough, I actually got choked up at the Boromir scene at the end. And to be clear, I have started the second book. That scene happens, and I may have missed something because I was doing it while I was working and stuff like that. But I don't think there's as much. I think there's more detail in the movie or whatever. I could be wrong about that. So challenge me on that if you need to. But the the book, it seemed like he just kind of showed up. He's like, "Oh, I'm dying by," and he died, whatever. But like in the movie, it's like you get the whole build up, the whole movie about him like being like kind of like turning a little bit, but not really.
Do
He's
you
just getting
see?
corrupted by
Do
the
you see?
ring.
Do you see how I was talking about though, where I said like I just found Boromir a more interesting character
No, uh,
than
but
you
that
still
the
don't think
final.
so?
No, I still don't think so. I think Aragorn is really good. In fact, I think he's even. I kind of think he might even be better in the movie than in the book, because which is the only thing you've seen him in. Well, he's. I mean, he's not, but I think in the movie he does a really good job. There's also things in the movie that apparently are added in by like him or whatever. Like I don't know if this is true or not. I know it's not in the books where he after Boromir dies, the Boromir has these bracers with the white tree of Gondor or whatever on it. These bracers that he wears, and after they have like the funeral and send Boromir off on the boat, it shows Aragorn and he's tightening the bracers on it, and he's because he is taking on that gauntlet, and like basically like the whole time in the book and the movie, he's just like, I don't want to be king. I'm not doing any of this. Like I gave that up a long time ago, and Boromir gives this kind of honestly heartfelt thing where he's just like, I can't believe I did that to Frodo. I'm so sorry. I failed, but you actually I do believe in you now because like we've been on this journey or whatever. Like you're my friend and my I like he calls him like two or three things. He calls him like friend and like ally and then the final one he says my king. He calls him his king or whatever. And like that's a big growth moment for him because he's just kind of like Gondor doesn't need a king at the first time he finds out who he is. So that was kind of a really cool like character development moment for him that I really liked. That and like they're like he's like there to comfort him in the end and everything. That was pretty. It was pretty good. I really liked that scene. There was a lot of
the
really
little
good.
ones.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a little bit into book 2 right now. I had a busy day at work the past couple of days, so
Do you
couldn't
think
pay super
also
attention. Yep.
you also watched the extended version?
I did,
From
which
what I
is
hear,
3 hours and
extended version
45 minutes. It's crazy.
That's so long.
It's so long.
I do hear the extended versions are even better. They're just
I've
so
heard
long. Do
various
you
things.
think
I've
that's
heard some
true?
people that are like hardcore fans say they're better. I've heard the other people who like maybe aren't as hardcore fans say that they're worse because they just add a bunch of stuff that you don't need or whatever. I wanted as much as I could get of it because I was like, give as much as you can
Yeah.
pack in from this book, give it to me, or whatever. And as a person who has now read the book and understands all the context, plus all the other like googling stuff or whatever that I'm doing as I'm listening to these and talking to friends who are fans about it and stuff like that, I have a lot more understanding of the world and the lore and what's happening, not just behind the scenes, but like this to me is like a way better version of my complaints with Wicked for Good, to where I'm like, we're like the plot's happening in the background, and that really upset me with Wicked for Good. The plot is happening in the foreground of this, but like there's a lot of stuff that they just
Going
can't
on
fit it in
the
here.
other stories.
Yeah, and they just can't fit it in here. But with what they do a good job. For the most part, I just think that it could be a little bit better, but I don't know how. Like that's just if anything, it's a nitpick. I just think that there's so much going on in this world while this is happening or whatever that I don't think you really get. I mean, clearly other people do because this is like people who've never read the books love these movies or whatever. Like so, other people understand it, but to me, that's always been a big disconnect. But part of it is because of the research and stuff I've been doing while listening to the books and stuff like that. That I'm starting to understand the actual world and world building and stuff, and I appreciate it a lot more now. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to doing that with the rest of them. I'm gonna do that with the other two books and The Hobbit. I'm gonna read each book, then watch the movie, and then I'll probably read The Hobbit and then watch all three movies of that. But yeah. So really enjoyed
So
Fellowship of the
good.
Ring. Didn't want to talk about that for too long, but I did watch the movie. I watched the extended cut, and I really enjoyed it. Still think Frodo's a little weirdo though. Frodo's
Yeah.
weird. Oh, and they
I
do
agree.
actually like the plot points or whatever. They follow it almost to a T. Like they don't even combine the elf stuff like we were talking about last time. They actually do, like they go to the elves. All the elf stuff happens at Elrond's, and then they go to Moria. Gandalf fights the Balrog. They lose Gandalf. They meet more elves, and that happens in the movie. I didn't remember that being two different occasions. So, but yeah, props to that. So that's my first
Hmm.
movie. Like I said, I think I'm gonna give Fellowship an 8 out of 10. It's probably better. I think that like that feels wrong to do, but I still feel like even after knowing all the context, I feel like there's just so much that I wouldn't understand, or it wouldn't mean as much to me, or it would just be kind of way too much filler. Like I could appreciate all that because I know what's going on, but if I didn't know what was going on, if I was just watching it blind, which I have done multiple times before, it didn't hit me like that. And so I take that
Yeah.
in context, but I think that is just a me thing. I don't think that that's a real problem with it because other people don't have that problem. There's plenty of people who got into the Lord of the Rings by the movies, but it's definitely hitting me better with the books. Let's see. Okay, so that's movie number one. Now movie number two. I watched the second Avatar movie,
Way of Water.
Way of Water. I think that it is like on par with the first one. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I'll probably also like an 8. Um, I
Oh
don't.
my gosh, why?
I think it's good.
Why?
I like that. I liked it. I
Oh.
think that it probably looks a little bit better. Like everything just kind of
Mm.
improves, like with the visuals and everything, just because it's 10, 15 years later or whatever. Other than that, like Just about everything.
Were you not bothered by the amount of times it was, oh my goodness, we have to go save this person. They go to save that person, and one of them, they leave one behind, and they leave, and they're like, oh no, we have to go save that person. And they go back, and they save that person, and then another person gets left behind. I
You talking
believe
about in the
like three
final?
separate times.
In the final?
The final battle, I think three separate times, there's like, oh, we have to go back for so and so and save them. I'm like, you guys suck. This is the third time you've had to do this.
I mean,
The
yeah,
movie
but
is just
they're all
it
kind of
feels like a
scattered. I
bunch
feel
of
like other stuff does that.
this
I know what you're
this
saying,
movie.
but
I feel like this
that's
movie is
all
like
like
Lord of the Rings in
right
terms
at
of
the end.
people fall in love with the world, but to be honest, like and Lord of the Rings is better. Don't get me wrong, but to
Yeah,
be honest,
yeah,
the
I
movies
agree.
it's a bunch of cheap parlor tricks, no character development, in my opinion. It's just so meaningless. Like you're talking about, you can't relate to the apes and Planet of the Apes. I can't relate to the Na'vi. Like these people, there's nothing. It's just
Yeah,
there's
see, I'm
nothing to
completely the
this. I don't know what you're
opposite. I'm
talking
like,
about.
yeah, I
Oh
mean, but
my
I think this is
goodness.
just a personal thing. Like to me, I relate to these people so
Oh,
much more. Personally, the downside of this one to me was Jake. I feel like Jake in the first one was great. And Jake's fine in this one, but Jake kind of takes a back seat, and it's more about the kids,
he does take a
which
back
I
seat.
like the
Yeah.
kids, but
No, the kids are stupid.
Jake just doesn't. Jake's a little bit annoying in this one. Um,
Yeah, he gets put into a role where he's, in the end, he's kind of right, though, right? Wasn't he kind of right in
No,
the end?
yeah,
It's kind of
but
like,
it's
he was,
he's the character who like I mean it's just kind of a trope. It's like he's the guy who kind of knows all the right answers, but because of the way that
and
the
he
world
rains
works,
on
like
everyone's
people aren't gonna
parade.
yeah. Um, for the most part, yeah. Um, I'm very
I don't have
I'm
a
very
full
interested in the
rebuttal
third one. I
in the
do think it's a
third.
little bit personal. For me, this feels like I think I'm gonna enjoy the stuff in Disney World next time I go. Um, that's like Avatar stuff because we went for our honeymoon, almost 10 years ago now. That's the only time I've ever been to Disney, and there's a lot of Avatar stuff. There's like a whole section of the animal kingdom that's Avatar, like Pandora themed or whatever, and I just couldn't appreciate any of it because I'm like I've never seen any of this. I don't know what's going on, and I'm looking forward to actually being able to experience it as a fan. Very interested in seeing Fire and Ash. But my wife also does not care for these movies at all, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to come out and then I'll
She knows
watch
what's
it.
up. Did she
Well,
watch these
see, the
two
thing
with
is,
you?
no, she watched the first one like years ago when it came out. Apparently, I kind of think that she's just kind of like the same way that like I've been to where I'm like I'm not interested, so I hate on it. 'Cause like I was watching it while I was doing like chores around the house, and she was like doing other stuff or whatever, and she came in and like towards the end, the last like it's like a 3 hour movie, isn't it? Something like that. They're all long,
Yeah,
right?
it's long.
So she came in for
Yeah,
like the
they're all
last
long.
hour. She was like, "Oh, you're watching this, nah," and then she like walked away. But then she just kept coming back and like standing, and she ended up like sitting down for like the last 45 minutes to an hour, like not knowing what's going on, but she like couldn't not watch it. Okay, and I was just like, I think she would like these movies. Like these are pretty good movies.
They're
For one,
they're
like
not.
they're an art piece. Like it's not. There's no like crazy good writing. It's like a feel good. They're like feel good
Then don't praise it
cookie,
like it
somewhat
is.
cookie cutter movies. I'm not.
I know, but people do. And the thing is, the
That's
moment you
fine.
say, "Oh, but the moment you say, "Oh, it's a good movie," is the people who praise it like it is, like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever." They take, "Oh, he said it's a good movie. He's validating it." And then they go off the rails of like, this is one of the best franchises in the history of movies, and it's like this
I
franchise,
think that
these
that's a
movies
perfectly fine
are
opinion to
incredibly
have. I think
mid.
that's super
If James
subjective.
Cameron was not attached, if the visuals were not so beautiful, these movies would probably be remembered like John Carter. And do you remember John Carter?
Yes, but not well, not like fondly or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
But
they're
that stuff
mid
is
writing.
okay. Yeah, but it's man. But there are certain like franchises or whatever that do well because they excel in those other things, but they have a very basic kind of cookie cutter story. But it's not trying to like I love a really good story or a really original story or things like that for sure. But if as long as you don't have like a bad story or like you mess up the writing and stuff like that, as long as you can do a basic simple story, and then excel in other things that other people don't match up to. And I don't really think anything. I can't think of anything like major that matches up to like the way that these movies like look. Per
What about
se.
the visuals? I guess you're more the CGI guy. I've never been one
I don't
who's like,
mind when it's
CGI doesn't look
good.
good. I don't. I could not care less what the CGI looks like. People complain about Black Panther.
I
That's
don't.
not why that movie's mid. The movie's okay. It's a solid movie, but that's not why the
I
movie's
think that
not
that
great.
knocks the movie down a good bit personally.
Oh my goodness, what are we talking about?
Um,
I think the fight scene being there was stupid. Not to
the
get on
fight
Black
scene
Panther.
at
We can
the
go
end
back to Way of Water.
specifically looks. Yeah, Vandy's gonna get mad. He just loves
Why?
commenting.
Oh, he's a Black Panther.
He's the one who
Listen,
comments on
listen.
all our
Wakanda
videos
Forever.
saying.
Wakanda Forever was not good. Shuri was cool. Black Panther
No,
One
I would say
was a good
Wakanda Forever
movie.
was good. It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You know what it is? You know what? Actually, I think Wakanda Forever reminds me a lot of Way of Water in terms of there's just like it's almost like
Way of
they
Water's
wanted they
better.
had to move the plot along, so they were coming up with stupid plot points. There was not real development, things like that. They're like, we need to get Namor mad at like
Both
we want
Avatar
Namor to
movies are
fight
better than the
the
Black Panther
Wakandans.
movies.
That's not true. I I'd say they're all. I say the both. I think the first Avatar's better than Wakanda Forever. It's not better than Black Panther 1.
Black Panther one,
Way of Water.
Black,
Way of Water
Black
is
Panther
about
one
tied
is
with Black Panther
closer.
2.
Like they might be like on par with Black Panther one. Wakanda Forever, I think, is a step down from Black Panther one. I think it's still good. Like I think Black Panther is probably like a what I would say like probably an 8. So it'd be like on par with the Avatar movies that I've seen so far. I'd say Wakanda Forever is like a 7. But
So if you can stand here and say Avatar, like their writing is mid,
I'm not saying the writing's mid. The
You're-
writing is fine.
you-
You see? Okay,
you said the writing.
you don't.
Mid.
No, I'm saying it's fine. Like it's a very basic cookie cutter story, and then but that's all it needs to be. It doesn't do anything wrong, in my opinion.
I don't like.
like,
I don't
okay.
like that.
To me, the best example of this, which you're not gonna understand, maybe some people out there, our brother will understand when he watches this, because he likes anime, but you don't watch anime. But there's a very popular, it's like one of the biggest animes right now called Demon Slayer, and it is super gorgeous. It's very good looking. It's very bright, colorful. The art is like what really brings us up, like out of the like makes it so special and popular. Honestly, is because it looks great. But the story is pretty basic. There's like 50 or more animes that have a very similar, if not almost beat by beat, the same story. At least for the first several arcs, and then it starts getting.
And that's
its
one
own
reason
thing.
why I don't like it.
Out of the 7,000, 100,000 animes, 50 of them have the same plot, and that's why you don't like it. Got it. Cool. But
And
you
those
love
are usually the
movies,
50
though,
that
by
people
the way.
recommend. Those are probably the 50 that people recommend.
Usually, you pick like one from, whatever type
The 50
that you
as like your main personality, and that's what you stand for.
No, but
even
like,
though it's
well, our brother
similar.
watches like everything. Like I'll be like, oh, I heard about this really obscure one. He's like, oh yeah, I watched that like 2 years ago when it came out. And I'm like, oh okay, but I would say it's like that. Like it has a basic story that's decent. It doesn't do anything like wrong, but it doesn't do anything like super original or whatever. At least until later. But I don't know. I think it's fine. Like I think it's good. I think it's being a little overhated for sure.
Maybe it's because I told you I hated it and it's bad. But going into it, I was thinking it was going to be good because this was you said 15 years after the original?
Yeah, but he wasn't working on it that whole time.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing. You come back because you're like, oh, I finally have everything I need ready. And like that was nothing for it. It's just like you took all this time, and this is like I'm expecting.
I definitely see the
writing.
visual upgrades. If you're talking,
I know, but I'm talking about.
I feel like it was the
I want a
technology.
story.
Yeah, I think the
I
story
want you to
is
come back
just
with a
fine.
strong story. It's like the Deadpool Wolverine with, like I said before, Logan. What's his name? Hugh Jackman said,
This has
"I'll
a
only come
better
back for,
story
like, a great
than
story."
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, that's just because that one was literally a cash grab. This
And I
one was
enjoy
just
Deadpool and Wolverine.
James Cameron stroking his ego with some kind of visual camera he designed that to work underwater. That's what it was.
He made a camera that worked underwater for this? Isn't the whole thing
Yeah,
in
he made
CGI?
yeah, he found there was some kind of because they did motion capture I think underwater or something like that. He designed a camera
Interesting.
or something like that to do that. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't every time you bring up Avatar to somebody, nobody says, "Oh, I love their story." Or like they'll say Jake
Some
Sully
people
because that's the only one
definitely
that everybody
do.
knows. They'll
Some
not
people
say, "Oh, I
definitely
love
like the
that character
story.
or that character." All they say is they're such beautiful movies. The visuals are amazing. Why is that?
That's what it's doing.
Because the movies themselves are nothing to write home about besides the visuals.
that's what I'm watching these movies for, to be honest. I'm like, what? I've
I
always
think
heard
that's
these are the
stupid.
spectacle, and like, let me, what's the spectacle? And I'm like, you know what? They are a spectacle. They're,
I
you
guess
know,
it's because CGI doesn't.
it's fine.
CGI
Yeah,
doesn't really
yeah,
excite
I don't
me.
disagree with you on any of this stuff. I just think that it's a fine thing if you end up liking it. That's fine. Yeah. If it's not your thing, that's fine also. Like,
I'm shocked you liked it. I'm
I did, yeah.
shocked.
Our friend Vandy also said the same thing. He's like, I did not expect you to like those movies. So I don't know. Just, but again, like, I don't think that they're like amazing, but I think that they're like solid. You know, like I'm pleasantly
Like,
surprised. But I also kind of like had all this expectation of. I think maybe was planning on not liking them because I've just always been like, I don't care about them. Like, it just didn't interest me. And then I finally watch it. I also think that it might have been different. I don't know. As I'm watching them, I'm wondering if I would have liked them more or less if I watched them when I was younger, because I feel like I appreciate a lot more of the stuff, like the cinematography and the artsiness of it and everything like that. I feel like I appreciate that a lot more now, and I wouldn't have gotten all that stuff. Same thing with the Lord of the Rings. I feel like I wouldn't have gotten a lot of the same stuff out of it that I get out of it now watching it for the first time. But I wonder if I had watched it when I was younger, if I would have just liked it because I was, younger and more stupid and just like, oh yeah, look at the pretty color, and then like, or it was like, oh, this is cool, it's hype, whatever, and then I would like it even more now out of nostalgia. I'm curious how that would work for me. I might just
I
have
mean, you
not
probably would
liked it
like.
originally.
I
I
think you
don't
probably
know.
would like it more. I mean, have you taken a look at Spy Kids 3 recently?
I've
I
seen
mean,
clips.
listen, we love
I've
Spy
seen
Kids.
clips. We went. We went.
We love Spy Kids 3,
We went.
but when you go back and look at that, you're
Oh yeah,
like,
it looks bad.
what the heck?
All the Spy Kids movies look bad. I saw a clip of. Have you seen clips of it recently or anything? I don't know if you're gonna remember
Yeah,
which
yeah.
one
I
I'm
mean,
talking about. I
I've seen them
saw.
before.
I saw like on TikTok or YouTube the other day the scene where like I guess all the parents and grandparents are being called or summoned or whatever by like a pager or whatever,
Oh
and the
yeah,
dad is like
yes.
working on working on the little brains.
The
He's like,
brain.
whoosh, and then he
Yeah.
like look, and he just like does the rocket boots and he just flies out of the skyscraper.
Yeah.
It's like,
And Machete shows up
yeah,
randomly.
it was great. Those
It's
movies are
a
great. I saw them. We went like retro shopping like a week or two ago, and we went to like just a random store I found in a town like a half an hour away that had just a ton of like old toys. They also had like some D&D stuff and a bunch of stuff like that. But they had like old toys, old movies, all sorts of retro or relatively recent stuff, and they had like a stand with a bunch of like VHSs or whatever, and I saw they had like it wasn't like wrapped or whatever, it was, but they had the case for it and everything, the VHS of Spy Kids. And I don't even remember like the first Spy Kids and maybe the second one came in like a black VHS carton.
yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I
yeah.
picked it up and showed Emily. I'm like, this is the good stuff right here. I remember getting that from Kmart after school one day when it came out. Like I had saved up some like allowance or something, like the few times I was able to get allowance or something, and I had like saved it up for like months when I knew it was coming out, because like back then we couldn't even go to theaters, so I had to wait for it to come out and stuff like that. And it's good times.
It was like $20. You're like, oh man.
All right, so we got Lord of the Rings out of the way, we got Avatar out of the way. I have one more movie to talk about, but I'm gonna save that because you said you have um, a TV show you watched you want to talk
I'm
about, and I'm saving
Yeah,
my
I'm
movie. My movie
surprised.
is a big surprise for me.
That is I thought Way of Water was gonna be like the big one you wanted to talk about. Now you're
No,
saving
no.
a different one for last. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
um, also I don't know if it came out in our ranking of TV shows for 2025. This is kind of separate, but did Tires season 2 come out in 2025?
I don't think so.
I think
Because
it might.
wasn't it
Oh, okay.
Christmas? I feel like it was like around Christmas ish that our brother was watching it.
But anyway, I'm rewatching that, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
But
2022.
regardless,
Wait,
okay.
no. Oh no, it was around your
Season
wedding.
2.
Tires started in 2024, I think. Season 2 was in 2025. So yeah, that would probably be on
Okay.
my thing. I will say
That would,
the
yeah,
movie
that
I
would probably
gotta
been there.
the movie I gotta talk about would have made my top 10 for 2025 if I had seen it in 2025.
Have I? Wait, did I see it? Wait, don't tell
I'm
me.
not
Don't tell
giving
me.
you
Don't tell me.
any hints. It's gonna be a surprise.
All right. Okay. Okay. TV show I watched, Rings of Power season 2.
Nice.
I've done season 1 and season 2. The Lord of the Rings fans hated season 1.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I think Amazon actually disabled. Read something today. It was like Amazon disabled the ratings ability when they first released it for the first 72 hours because they were like people are review bombing it without like before even watching it. But I watched season 1 just as this is context, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed season 1. It is just it's just really fun. Like there's like so many storylines in season 1, and but not too much. There's enough. Some of them you don't care as much about, but others you care more about. But I really enjoyed it. Lord of the Rings fans hated it so much. Season 2, I had been hearing they did it well. They finally brought season 2 back, and it's so much better than the first season. Like this is Lord of the Rings fans being like season 2 is not like it's not great, but it's at least better than that crap that was season 1. So I finished season 2. Kind of disappointed. Season 1, I'd give like a 8.5. Like really good season.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I
maybe
will
an
have to
8.
watch
Yeah.
this show after I get done with all the Hobbit movies. I think I'll have to watch the
Yeah.
show.
I think
I have so much Amazon
knowing
shows to catch up on.
Fallout, I gotta do
Fallout.
Fallout season 2.
Yeah, they just also announced. I think Invincible season 4 is coming out in March. I think something like that.
Oh yeah, I'm
March or
excited
May.
for that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Trailer looked good. Season 2, I'd probably give a 7.
Wow.
The season, it's because they do this thing. They kind of do it in Lord of the Rings as well, where like, in season 1 there was several storylines, and like I said before, some of them you're like, I don't really care about that. Get me back to these ones that are really cool. But the thing is, certain characters branch off from their storyline. That doesn't mean you stop following this storyline. It just means this is another storyline. So season 2, it feels like doubles its storylines, and it's just constantly you get so invested in one character. Like I really enjoy this character. I wonder what's going to happen in the next episode, and you don't see them for 3 more episodes until like it comes back and like, oh yeah, what have they been up to? It's been like forever since I saw them. I will say, I think there's 8 episodes in season 1 and 2 each. Season 2, episode 7. It's awesome, fantastic, amazing. If they had ended the season there, I might have given the show like a 7.5. But the last episode, the writer wrote. This is one thing I complain about when writers write themselves into a corner. They put the character into a dire situation, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And it's the end of the episode or whatever. And the next episode, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what happens. How does he get out of it?
Woody's finest
Is it is it is it Ex Machina? Like what is it? And then the next episode, they don't even address it. It's just like something fell.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm listening.
some. Yeah, it's just like they just go. Like you don't even see what happened in this pivotal situation. They just kind of go around it and progress as if a certain outcome happened, but you didn't see it happening. I don't know how. Without spoilers, it's just it felt like a betrayal in building up this moment, in my opinion. And there's a lot of things that like if you've been watching up until this point, you want satisfying conclusions for certain characters, and they don't really give that to you. They do build up certain characters that like I said, you thoroughly enjoy. You're like, wow, I did not think I would like this character, and you know what? I really enjoy this character. I want more of them. I will say this: after watching these 2 seasons of Rings of Power, and obviously watching The Hobbits and Lord of the Rings, my favorite character might be Bilbo. Not sure.
Of all the stuff. Okay. I
Tough.
really think
It's
that
Bill.
what was that guy's name? I can't remember his name anymore. Um, the actor who plays Bilbo in the Hobbit movie specifically.
Martin Freeman.
Yes, because I honestly think that if anything, you could make a complaint about those because I have a feeling that he made Bilbo more likable. Because
Oh yeah, I bet so.
in at least in the Lord of the Rings, Bilbo's kind of a douchebag.
He is in the he's in the movies. In the movies, he is.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
why I said
like he's a little bit. He's like a lovable, like douchebag kind of. Like he's
old as well.
What?
He's
Yeah,
old in that
but
as
like
well.
he makes a point to tell Frodo, and again, this could be something I'm not understanding fully or whatever. Maybe this is him pushing people away on purpose or something. I don't know. But he like makes it a point to tell Frodo like, "Hey, I normally don't care about these people," type of deal, and he's like, "But you Frodo, I do appreciate. I'm glad that I raised you basically or whatever." He's like, "But yeah, I don't really care about anyone else." It's like, huh. I don't know. Maybe there's context there that I'm not getting. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to take that yet. But
I don't know.
he's kind
All
of
I'm
a he's
thinking
kind
when
of a
I think
jerk.
of Bilbo, I do think of the Martin Freeman Bilbo. I don't even consider like I know he's the original is the Lord of the Rings one, but like
Well, technically, The
when I
Hobbit
think
came
of
out
like
first. The books.
when I think I well I'm talking about the movies. The
Yeah.
Martin Freeman Bilbo, his character journey, even in the first one, an unexpected journey. That's why that one's my favorite. His character journey is to me is one of the best, and even at the end of the Hobbit series, one of the last shots. It's not the last shot because he goes back to the Shire, but after like some of the dwarves die and all their like the wars ending, it's just him and Gandalf. Just like when he first visits him, they sit down at the stairs and Gandalf's lighting his pipe and he's just kind of sitting there, like you see this guy who's changed after all this that's happened to him. Um, but he's up there. I don't know if he is. I will say I don't think him and Legolas were kind of fighting for the top spot. Love Legolas still. Legolas is
Legolas is
awesome.
great. Yeah.
I think I have a new favorite though.
Is he
And
someone who's in the other ones? I'm gonna see if he is, then I want to guess.
He is in the other
Is
movies.
it Sauron?
No.
Okay. Is it? It's not Bilbo because he's not in the movies. Radagast?
No.
Okay.
That's funny though. I love Radagast.
I'm trying to think of who would have been around during this time. Elrond. Elrond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elrond
Okay. I was like,
so
who is still alive from
Elrond.
back then?
Elrond is never wrong. Like, I mean, he's wrong sometimes, but like, he's the guy who he's like if they had listened to him from the start, kind of.
He's the Jake Sully.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's the Jake Sully, and even continually, like in the Lord of the Rings when they're showing like what happened after they beat Sauron in the thing epilogue or whatever.
The before times.
And he's like, throw it in the fire, cast it in the fire, destroy it. And then even with the council, what is that thing called? The first Lord of the Rings. What is that called?
Fellowship of the Ring.
The Fellowship of the Ring. Even at that, he's like, we must destroy the ring. Like he's continually like, we have to destroy these things. And not only that, bro is he's like a courier or something. Like he's just like he's a diplomat almost
Yeah, I thought he was like
for the elf.
royalty the first time I watched it or whatever. It's not until now. It's one of those things that I get the context of. Like he's just like the leader of this like elf area in Rivendell and whatnot in the Lord of the Rings time. And I'm like, and he's just like a
Yeah,
wise dude. And for
he's
some
like a
reason, because of
counselor.
like his like authority and whatever, I always thought he was also kind of like a douchebag. Or whatever. Like on reading it and watching it, I'm like, he's not. He's just a guy.
Right.
He's just a right guy. Like what? I don't know. I don't know why I thought that I was supposed to not like this dude before, and I think that's just on me. But for some reason, I was like, oh, I don't like this dude for some reason. But no, he's great. Yeah.
Everything like I feel like the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings movies for him is he I think he's in the Hobbits. He's
Probably.
he's a good character, but like you don't know too much. Like you said, like you don't know that much about him. This show, if for nothing else, is great because it gives you insight into Elrond. And I'll tell you what, Elrond is the best part of this show. He's awesome. His relationships with everyone is fantastic. His thinking, his philosophy, his wisdom, all that. It's awesome. Not only that, but this dude, like we said, he's like a diplomat, like he's a counselor, whatever. He can fight though, like all elves can
Yeah.
basically, but bro can still wield the sword still, and it's so awesome. Like Elrond is my goat. Um, he'd probably lose in a fight to Legolas, but that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about like just I love a dude who can like be a lawyer, but also can hold his own, talk just like Daredevil. Like he's just awesome. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, season two is a little disappointed, but if for nothing else, for all Lord of the Rings haters, lovers out there who hate on these shows, or might say season two is so much better, like just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. That
Or
was
maybe they do, and like
season
the
two.
lore they get right in season 2 or something. I don't know.
I I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I saw one dude complaining about like I'll never watch the show because of one thing. He's just like some of the elves have short hair. And he's
Yeah.
just like, I don't care what the lore says, elves should have long hair. And I'm like, wait,
That's
does the
just
lore
dumb.
say they can have short hair? That doesn't make sense. But anyway, season two is because there's so many storylines. Like I said, it's very slow, um, until the last 2-3 episodes. But yeah, that's my review for Rings of Power. Season one, great. Season
Yeah.
two, eh.
Sorry, I'm
I'm
yawning so
still gonna. Oh,
much.
season three is gonna have Jamie Campbell. Is that his name?
Oh,
From Vecna.
from
He's gonna be in season three.
Sweeney Todd, the demon
Yeah,
barber
Sweeney
of.
Todd.
Yeah, he's in Sweeney Todd. You ever see that movie? It's
Yeah.
great. It's a great movie.
Is that Johnny?
That's
Is that
Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Depp? I
Yeah,
never saw it.
he plays the. It's interesting. He plays the boy who comes home with Johnny Depp, like on the boat or whatever, and then is just doing his own thing. Like they just meet or talk on the boat at the beginning of the movie. And yeah, Jamie Campbell Bower, something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, and he's the boy who ends up falling in love with Johnny Depp's Sweeney Todd's like daughter, who's adopted by the mayor or whatever, and helps her get away or whatever. Um, and what's really cool, a few years ago, I really like that movie. I've never seen the play, but I've seen that movie several times. Um, a few years ago, they did like a big Broadway version or whatever. Um, and I don't know if it was Broadway or if it was like an audio thing. I don't remember. I haven't been able to listen to it, but I've seen clips of them recording it or whatever. And Josh Groban, I think, did Sweeney Todd,
Oh.
and Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things played the character
Oh my.
that falls in love with.
Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin played the character that Jamie Campbell Bower played in the movie. I'm like,
Mm,
man,
that's funny.
I want to see/hear that because I really like the music of that. It's one of my favorite plays. Um, I have a good time with that. So that's on a bucket list. I just haven't I don't know if there's like a copy of it out there that you can get or watch or something, or if because I mean it was like a limited time running thing, but it had like a stacked cast and stuff. It was cool. But one other question about you made me think of it when you were talking about like Lord of the Rings and Rings of Power and stuff like that. It's not super related, but you kept bringing up Legolas, and you're a bigger fan of The Hobbit than I am. Do they bring Legolas into the Hobbit movies eventually? Is that something they did?
Legolas is in the Hobbit movies. He's not in the book, and that's what a lot of
Right,
people
and
are
a lot of
mad
people
about.
are
Were
mad
mad
about that
about when it happened.
because there's an elf girl as well who like falls for one of the dwarves, right?
Yeah.
Is she in the? Well, I don't know if you would know if she was in the book or not. I couldn't remember if it was her that they were mad about or if they did actually bring Legolas, because that seems really weird to bring Legolas back.
What do you mean bring him back?
Well, to bring him in for that when he wasn't there for that, just for the fan service of it, I guess, or I don't know. It
I
doesn't
think
sit
they saw just
super
the
right.
opportunity to, because they're like, well, Legolas probably would have been around for this because elves live forever, so this doesn't really interrupt canon. Um,
Yeah.
Probably okay doing that.
Okay.
And doesn't like Bilbo end up at one of the elvish palaces or
Yes,
whatever
but Legolas
in Lord
doesn't.
of the
I
Rings?
don't. But Legolas doesn't act like he knows him. He's not from that area. He's from a different elf
Well, to be
area.
honest, I don't know if they really interact that much in
Well,
the
they're there at
movie.
the fellow. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know if Bilbo's at the Fellowship. Not the Fellowship, the Council of Elrond. I don't. In the book, Bilbo was there, but like in the movie, I don't think he's there.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think
Because in the
he's at
book,
the Shire.
it's like they're like, someone's got to go and do it, and Bilbo's like, it's my burden, I'll do it. And Gandalf's like, oh, you're cute, you think you can do it? You're old. Go sit down. And then they all start fighting over who's gonna do it, and that's when Frodo's like, I'll do it, and Gandalf's like, oh, huff puff, I'm an old wizard man. I'm gonna take care of this little elf boy, and but then I'm gonna die in
Have
the
you ever
first part
seen
of the adventure.
Have
Die.
you ever seen the cartoon clips from the cartoon movie?
Dude. So I'm watching these on HBO Max, right? I have seen the clips, like the funny clips you're talking about, like where he spooks the.
Like
Well, yeah, it's just yeah, those are great.
when
But
he takes the
I
ring.
was looking through like the
How's that?
Tolkien collection on HBO, and I was looking at like what else I'm gonna watch for this. They have that on HBO. They have the old one. I
Okay.
jumped. I pulled it up and I jumped around to several points in it or whatever to see like what the animation was like. It's a fever dream. It's trippy. It's so weird. Also, like I don't know what the order is because I've only seen the movies. I haven't read The Hobbit yet, and I've never watched the animated movie. But in the animated movie, it looks like he fights Smaug. He fights Smaug at the end, which is not the way the movies go. Because
Yeah, so the
Desolation of
movies have
Smaug is
a
the second
battle.
movie. The Battle for the Five Armies is the third movie, and also on HBO, they have extended editions for every single movie of both trilogies except An Unexpected Journey, and that irks me
That one's off. That one's the best.
because I'm gonna have to. I've never bought these, so like I don't have them because I've never been a fan before. But I'm gonna have to buy these, and I guess when I get around to The Hobbit, I'll just get the box set with all six of them, because I want to watch the extended ones if I'm gonna do them. So. Okay. So, any more thoughts on your Rings of Power, or you want to move on to the other movie?
Just one more thing is probably the most unfortunate part of the show is Galadriel, who's they use as like their main character. They don't. She's just not good. And I like Galadriel in the other movies. She's not good in the show. I mean, season one she was annoying and got a little better, and I was kind of like, okay, they have her in a new place at the end of season one. She'll be better in season two, and she's kind of a little better, but still stupid stuff. And it's not that again, I'm not blaming the actress's fault. I think it's the writers for don't know how to handle Galadriel. So that's disappointing. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, I got one more movie review to talk about before we move into something else. You said you have something planned for the end here, so before we get into that or anything else you want to talk about, I got one more movie to talk about. I want to preface this by saying this movie would have been in my top 10 for last year if I had watched it. I'm not going to go back and retroactively change it. That's not how it works. But for 2025, this would have been in my top 10. It wouldn't have been high, but it would have at least been in the back five. It was better than multiple movies on my list for sure. This movie reminds me a lot of how I felt about Dungeons and Dragons a few years ago, where I did not expect much. In fact, I expected it to be bad, and I end up like blown away and floored by how much I liked it. This movie is not as good as Dungeons and Dragons, but it is so much better than I anticipated it being. Because I thought this movie was going to be a dumpster fire. I thought this movie was going to be terrible. So the other day, my wife was like, "Hey, I really want to go to a Chinese buffet," and we recently found a good one that's like in a little side town about 30 minutes away, and it's actually like the closest AMC. We went there for the Stranger Things premiere. That's when we found that Chinese buffet. So we're like, "Hey, let's go try that again, see if it's still that good." It is that good. It was a very good Chinese buffet. So we went to the Chinese buffet, and she was like, "We want to go see a movie." And I was like, "There's not really anything out right now that I think you'd be interested in." So we're looking, and we saw this movie. We're like, "All right, let's go see this." I guess, like, I don't expect much, but it's been out for a while, so it was a cheap ticket. So like, whatever. We'll just go and have a little bit of a good time with it. Whatever. I expect it to be terrible. Um, this movie, okay. This movie is Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I give this movie a 7.5. This movie,
Wow.
the whole time, honestly, this movie's, I, I thought it'd be lucky to get like a 6 or a 6.5. The whole time I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this movie might actually be a 7. And by the end of it, I was like, I'm having, like, honestly, like, this movie doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just meant to be like, it's a comedy, like, not even like a full-fledged horror. It's like a comedy with jump scares, I guess, ish. But it's like a
Is it
comedy
like
first. But it
is
is
it at all like
hilarious.
Jumanji?
Kind of, but like not as it's slightly more horror, I would say, or tense
Okay.
thriller-ish than Jumanji, because Jumanji's like a family-friendly film, but it's like a family-friendly comedy type deal, action adventure comedy. This is like kind of that, but a little bit more horror tropey. Because have you seen the trailers or anything? You know the premise of this.
Yeah.
So it like
They're
Jack
going
Black's
for film.
character is and like I think when I watched the trailers, I thought it was supposed to be them, but it's not. It's like they're playing characters. But Jack Black is a director. Well, not a director. He's a guy who makes like wedding videos, but he always wanted to be a director. And his childhood best friend is Paul Rudd, and he is like a struggling actor in L.A. And Jack Black is like in like Michigan or Minnesota or something, some random other state where like his life is not gonna. But like Paul Rudd is just like, oh, you know what? I got the rights to Anaconda, so I want to go make Anaconda like indie style, and I want you to do it. So he's like, okay. So they go to do it. Things go off the rails. There are like 2 or 3 scenes where my jaw was on the floor for a minute straight at the twists and turns that this movie took. Like the choices in the script. Like there's certain things that's like, okay, yeah, I understand why that happened because clearly this was good. This was gonna like be a thing later. But just like the fact that like you're in the middle of a scene and then something just happens, I was just not expecting, and it's just like oh my gosh. But it is hilarious, like pretty much consistently. Like the main character, you got Jack Black, who is great in this movie. Honestly, it was one of his better ones. I've gotten, I think I'm in the group of people who is kind of like same thing with like he's got like the Chris Pratt thing from a few years ago where he's just in too much. Like, stop. Like we got
Yeah.
like Jack Black's in everything, Chris Pratt's in everything. Like I'm a little sick of Jack Black, but I think this is pretty good. This is like pretty good with him. Paul Rudd, I think they all kind of ham it up a little bit because this is a cheesy film, but it's kind of meaning to be. It's been so long since I've seen the original Anaconda, but I did watch it like years and years and years ago. I don't remember much about it except for that it was like a
It's
B
John
tier.
Voight.
Was it John Voight? I don't remember. But I remember Ice Cube and J Lo, I think, were in it.
Yeah.
Um, but like I can't remember if it was like also a comedy horror or if it was like a horror that like was
I
meant to be hammy.
I
I
think
can't,
it was. I think it was supposed to be like what is that? Piranha? Almost like Piranha.
was it? I don't remember it being like that jokey, but it may be.
I don't think it was supposed to. Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be comedy. I think it was trying to be kind of serious, but not like a horror movie, you know? More like a, I guess, Jurassic
That's what I
Park-ish.
thought, but I thought it was a little bit funnier or hammier, I guess. Um,
Well, it's got Ice Cube, so it probably was.
yeah, but man, this thing just goes all over the place. So it's got Jack Black, it's got Paul Rudd. It had like the core four are these group of friends from their childhood. It's those two. There's a girl that's like a love interest, I guess, for Paul Rudd's character. She was honestly, in my opinion, like the worst one. She's fine, um, but it's just I can't tell, like, because they're supposed to all be bad actors, the ones that are acting for the movie. So like I can't tell if she's
Yeah.
acting bad because she's acting like a bad actor, because she's like a
Yeah.
lawyer and stuff. So she's not gonna like this movie they're making is like a terrible indie film basically, but
Yeah.
it like kind of works. And but then um probably quite possibly the funniest character in the movie is the fourth person, who is um,
I love that guy.
the guy from Daddy Daycare that was
Daddy
like all
Daycare,
obsessed with
yeah.
Spock or whatever. He's also in White Lotus season 1, I think. Um,
Oh, really?
he's been in a good amount of stuff. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that guy. He's got a mustache in here. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
They get like a snake handler dude who has like an anaconda that he brings or whatever. Um, it's like, again, I'm giving that because like I would say that this movie is probably like a 7, 6.5 to 7. I think that I have so much fun with it and enjoyed it so much that I bumped it up to a 7. I think that the like a reasonable score for someone who is having a fun, good time with it is a 7. It's not a great movie, but it is really, really fun and it's really, really funny. Um, for what it is doing. Like if you are not taking it super seriously, it's not taking itself seriously. So I think it's succeeding in that. I just like this. It's not like trying to have the most developed story. It's a comedy first and foremost.
Yeah.
So you rate it as such, right? So you have that, but then like I was like good and happy and satisfied. I felt good with that 7. I thought that was like giving it, already maybe even giving it that extra little oomph because of how much I was just really enjoying it. But then something
Yeah.
happens like in the third act that I was like, holy crap. I gotta bump this up to a 7.5. This is just, like that alone, like that specific like event that happens just earns it another like point 0.5. Like it's just crazy. So this movie was
So, you're,
crazy.
so there's no other movie you'd like compare it to. I know you compared it to Dungeons and Dragons with the fact
Dungeons
of
and
how
Dragons
it
is better.
surprised
Yes,
you.
exactly. Yeah, that's why the
Yeah.
comparison.
But is there any sort of like movie that you would compare it to in terms of like, I guess, quality and vibes?
Yeah, I have to think about that.
Like, because it is a tough act, I think, to take a movie like this and them not to their premise of them like they don't take it too seriously with it not coming across as cheap junk.
Yes.
But it sounds like it's not cheap junk, and they do nail it
Like
where it
they
is like this
tried,
is just a fun
but
time.
like they tried,
Yeah.
and I think that they nailed what they were going for. This, like when
Yeah.
I saw the trailers for this, I was like, "What are we doing? If you're gonna reboot Anaconda, like actually try." It looked like they were not trying, which they're not. But
Yeah.
but what they are doing, whatever it is that they were going for, this comedy like spoof of the idea or whatever, they did try. They went for what they ended up making. And
Mm.
I it didn't feel like a cash grab from the name Anaconda. If anything, it felt more like almost like a little bit of like a love letter to the original, but also like just its own thing. Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah. Oh, man, yeah, man. I'll have to think about that.
Okay. No worries. Well, I mean, listen, now I'm interested in watching Anaconda, but I was slightly disappointed. I thought you were gonna say Predator Badlands,
No,
but um, okay,
I did
well, that's
have
cool.
um I don't know. Probably no one watching this is gonna appreciate it, but I will mention like I beat beat Hades 1 like a couple days ago, which it's like a roguelike, so you play it over and over again. So I beat I beat the final boss of the run, and in order to get like the true ending, you have to do that like I think at least 10 times, whatever. So
Jeez.
I actually beat it, but they take the runs take like 30 to 45 minutes. So once you
Okay.
start getting good at it and you understand the flow or whatever, you could do that pretty. Like people have like hundreds and or thousands of runs on this game. I think I'm at like 60 or something, 50 or 60, and I beat him twice, and then I moved on. I've started at Hades 2, and I get into that. We're seeing there's a lot I like about it more. There's a lot that's like a learning curve, but I think I'm getting it. But yeah, that's the thing that was probably the runner-up for Game of the Year last year. I'd be very interested if you ever played Expedition 33, which did win. There's like a really big debate or like conversation to be had about the ending of that game, and I'd be very interested in. I want to talk to somebody about that. It's just so much weird, interesting, cool,
Have you
philosophical.
played it, or is this
I
you
beat
just
it, yeah.
like?
No, I beat it.
Okay.
I didn't do all the extra side content stuff, but I beat the story. I didn't play any of the what's it called? Late game, I guess. It's where you beat the story and then there's more extra like content to do afterwards or whatever, but I beat the main story. And that's mainly what I'm talking about. But
Gotcha.
I think that's the only one that was nominated last year that I beat. I only played like 2 or 3 of them. So anyway, all right. So you said that you had some other thing that you
Yes,
had an
I've got
idea
a
about.
fun. I've got a fun game for us. Well, game for you. I think this is called what? King of the Mountain, King of the Hill,
King of the Hill. Okay, yeah, I was wondering
whatever.
about that. I was thinking about making one of those the other day as well. I was like, okay, well, that's something we can do here. I'm working on like brackets for us, like be able to do brackets or whatever. I got it like a 16 seed and a 32 seed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. This is gonna be for you. I might interject and be like, I disagree. That's stupid. But this is an exercise I'm doing for you. You don't know what's coming up next. I've got a list of some of the best movie franchises of all time.
Okay, we're doing a King of the
So I
Hill
have
movie franchise.
okay, so there is no DC and Marvel in this just
Okay,
because I believe that would be unfair. Um, because I think that might be at the top. Um, so anyway, uh, should I make any changes? Okay. All right. I'll leave it. All right. Number one, you're starting out with Fast and Furious versus John Wick.
I'm gonna say John Wick. I've only seen the first 1 or 2 Fast movies. I need to watch the
Oh, I
rest,
thought
but
you've seen them all.
nah,
I
my
haven't
wife
watched all
likes
the Fast
them,
and
but
Furious
I love the
movies.
John Wick movies. They're gonna probably go far, I would think.
All right. I like John Wick. So I didn't like John Wick first time I watched it. I watched the first one and I watched the third one and I was like, I don't get it. I watched the second one and I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Second one's the best.
I think the
Then
first
I
one's
watched the
probably the best. I still like the
No, I
first
think
one.
second one's the best. The fourth one was, I think that was the fourth one that was just made like
Yeah.
a year or two ago. That one was really good as well.
Yeah,
Skarsgård's great in it.
I think I probably like 3 the least. It's probably like
I
3,
think I like
4. It's probably like 3, 4, 2, 1 for me.
I think two's villain and how like he goes to a hotel and the villain just thinks he's got him. He's just like, oh, we're in the hotel, and you're like, oh, what? Like, what are you? And he actually does shoot him and says, I don't care. Like, come after me.
Yeah,
That was like for me. I'm
it
like,
was a great ending.
oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay, coming up next. So you said John Wick over Fast and Furious. Now you have John Wick versus The Matrix.
John Wick.
John Wick. Ooh, I've only seen one of The Matrix. I wasn't impressed.
Oh,
So
ever? The
I
first
probably
Matrix movie is like legitimately great. The other ones are not as.
I
Not
only saw
nearly
the
as.
first
I
one,
still
and I
like
was like,
them,
I don't
but
think
they're
this is
not
for
John
me.
Wick. I really like the first
All
one. The
right.
first one's very good.
So you have now John Wick versus The Hunger Games.
We're talking movies here.
Yeah. What else are we talking? Or
Yeah, I
books?
don't know.
No,
Yeah,
doing movies.
I've read all the books. Man, this is my choices, right? It's up to me.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is up
pick
to you.
I'm gonna pick Hunger Games.
Oh, or John Wick.
Yeah,
I don't know what I. To be honest, that's a toss up for me. I think I'd probably take John Wick just because I think a lot of the Hunger Games
I
movies just
like both
anger
a
me.
lot. But I've read the Hunger Games books. I like the series a lot, and I think that the John Wick movies, they're really fun. I think they definitely have more of a story in comparison to something like Fast the Fast movies, but they're
Yeah,
kind of meant to be ridiculous. Especially they get progressively more ridiculous. Hunger Games has like a consistent narrative, and it's narrative driven. And in my
yeah.
opinion, it's good. There's a lot of depth to it, especially once you get into the books. But like, um, yeah, I do enjoy Hunger Games. I think the politics of Hunger Games is really, really good.
Like the politics of it, but anyway.
I'm
So
just
you
saying
have
it's
Hunger Games
interesting.
now is on top.
Okay.
So Hunger Games right now is on top for you. Coming up next, Hunger Games versus the Rockies.
I'm gonna go Hunger Games.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm gonna go
What are you
Hunger Games.
talking about?
I like
What are
Rocky
you talking?
1, 2,
There is not a
3,
movie
and
in the Hunger
4.
Games franchise better than Rocky 1, 4, 2, or 3. The first four Rockies are better than any of the Hunger Games
No,
movies.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, okay. Okay.
No, I'm going Hunger Games.
That's a horrendous take. That's a horrendous take. Anyway,
I think I'd take the John
um
Wicks over the Rockies. I
oh
like the
my
Rockies.
gosh.
I like the Rockies. Oh,
That's a
chili whips.
heresy. Heresy. All right, now you have
I like the
still
Rocky
Hunger.
movies.
This one's just okay. So Hunger Games versus Chris Pine Star Trek.
Oh man. Oh man. See, that one's really tough for me. Like, like Hunger Games is like a top 15, maybe top 10 like film series for me. Like when you consider like only series, like ones that have multiple movies in them. Like I really like Hunger Games. It's up there. Um, I think that the Star Trek trilogy is really solid. I think the third one takes a step down, but I thought it was going to take a step down a lot more than it ended up doing. Like I liked it more than I thought I would. It did not look good in the trailers to me, but I ended up really liking it. Man, do you like those movies?
So yeah, I really like the first, and I think the second one is the best of the trilogy. The third one, I was kind of disappointed in. It
I
was
want to
okay.
rewatch those
It
movies,
wasn't
man.
bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was okay. But the first one's good. Second one's awesome. Benedict Cumberbatch is so good in that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like them, especially or a lot of people don't like those movies, especially that one. People really don't like
Yeah,
what they
they're
did with Khan. I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars Trek fan. I never got into Star Trek until
that's
those movies.
that's why
So
that's why I said the Chris Pine ones because I was like, I don't even know what to think about the original.
yeah, yeah, but I like
It kind
these
of reminds me
movies.
of the Lord of the Rings people.
Honestly,
Like,
in I have been on record. I guess not on record till now, but like for years I've said I think that that trilogy overall is better than the Star Wars saga. Like I think that they're better movies.
I'm not gonna talk about that one. Um, so what are you taking? Hunger Games or
I'm
Star
trying to
Trek?
think. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember like peak stuff in Hunger Games and how that measures up. I just gotta pick
That's
one.
I'm still ashamed that you took Hunger Games over Rocky.
I'm not. I think you like Rock. You clearly like Rocky more than I do, but I like Rocky. But I like Hunger Games a lot.
I think Rocky 1 might be one of the best movies of all time.
I don't know. I don't actually like Rocky 2 better because he because he actually beats the guy.
Well, the thing is, I thought Rocky 4 was the best for the longest time, and I went and rewatched them, and I'm like, there's so many things so awesome in Rocky 1 that like they the mistakes of he takes Adrian ice skating for one of their first dates, and the ice skating place is empty, and in that moment you're feeling how low Rocky is. But the thing is, that moment wasn't supposed to happen. They didn't have enough money to pay extras. They only had enough to pay one extra, and it was the guy doing the ice. And they're like, okay, well, let's try and fit this into the script. So they did that. And then another time when he's going up, he's in the ring before the fight, and he's
Aren't
looking
they
at the
making a
poster.
biopic about him now?
Who? Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, I think they're making a Sylvester
I think
Stallone
they are.
biopic about like while he was making Rocky. I think they're doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, he was when he went to the ring and he saw the poster, he's just like, "Oh, that has my shorts as red." It was either whichever. He's like, "But my shorts are white." And the janitor looks up at it and he's just like, "I don't think anybody's gonna really care." Just as like nobody believed in him. But that was a mistake. Like the company actually misprinted that and they put it in the movie. It just
All
adds
right.
more to the story of him being the underdog. So anyway, we can go on forward. Star
All
Trek
right.
versus Hunger Games. You got an answer?
I because of the past answers, it's kind of making it clear. I have to go Hunger Games here because I would pick John Wick over Star Trek. I probably wouldn't pick Rocky over the Star Trek movies, but I would pick John Wick. So I'm
You're
gonna have to go Hunger
preposterous.
Games. It's up there though.
You're preposterous. All right, so
I
Hunger
need to rewatch
Games.
those movies.
Hunger Games lasted longer than I thought. All right, this
I
one's.
like
I don't
Hunger
think you like
Games.
these. I don't think you like these. I like these. Hunger Games versus Jason Bourne.
Hunger Games all day. I hate Jason Bourne. I hate the Bourne movies.
I
They suck.
knew you hated
The
them.
only good one is the one that's not a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah, you're wrong, but
No.
that's okay. All right. Hunger Games versus the Sonic trilogy that we've gotten recently. I just added this one.
Hunger Games is definitely better, but do I go with my heart? Because I mean, Sonic 3, because of all that movie means to me, is like it's like a top 10 movie from all time to me. I don't think that anything in the Hunger Games is, but do I like the series as a whole? Like Sonic, none of the Sonic movies are as good as the Hunger Games movie, or as good as any of the Hunger Games movies.
Mm, third one might be.
No, third one's like a fun fan service kid movie, which is weird. Like, why is there so much fan service if you're not gonna at least mature it up for the people who are fans?
It's fine. It's mature enough.
I can't. The problem is, like, I compare it to my past answers, and I'm like, okay,
And you
yeah,
would take.
and I would take those over. Well, like, except for 3, it's just 3. 3 is the only thing holding it up. So I think that's just gotta. Like, I don't think 3 can hold it up, even though I love 3. It's gotta be. It's gotta be Hunger Games. Give me something good, man.
Okay.
Beat Hunger Games.
Okay. Okay.
Hunger Games is lasting too long in this bracket. You're giving me.
Hunger Games. Hunger Games versus Shrek. I'll slap those headphones right off your face.
The peaks of Shrek are better than Hunger Games, but it's half of that. Like half of the series isn't. Like, what do you mean? Shrek
None
1
of
and
the
2,
Shreks are bad.
3 and 4
Shrek 3 and 4
are
are not bad.
but none of them. But they're not better than any of the Hunger Games. But
I
1
would
and
say
2,
4 is
1 and 2
1, 2,
are
and 4 are
better than
better.
all the Hunger Games.
I would say 1, 2, and 4 are better than all the Hunger Games.
It wouldn't be. Hunger Games would be my top 15 franchise, maybe top 10. Shrek would not be.
I can't
So
believe.
I'm going Hunger Games.
I can't believe.
Maybe get better.
Oh my
Maybe get
God.
better movies on here.
Oh my gosh.
Also,
I
John
can't
Wick.
believe you.
John Wick beats Star Trek beats Yeah.
You're insane.
Yeah.
You're insane.
No.
Whatever. Oh my gosh, that's the stupidest answer. Anyway, all right. Goodness gracious. All right. Hunger Games versus Planet of the Apes.
Hunger Games.
Okay. Stupid. Wrong, but okay. Hunger Games versus Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Holy crap. And as far as your argument goes, only the first 3 are really worth watching. The fourth one's okay.
I still enjoy the other ones, but they're not nearly as good. But those first 3 especially are
It's
great.
the same thing as Shrek. The last 2 aren't as good as the first 2, but they're still enjoyable.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough. Like Hunger Games, I think is consistently good, which is why it's so
No,
hard.
it's not. I think it's consistently mid.
No, Hunger Games is good and it stays consistent
I'm
the
always
entire
left
time.
wanting more. All right, we have a new king right now, and it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Also,
Pirates of the
the score. Oh my gosh, I needed to mention this. Lord of the Rings, just like one thing I've always, even when I was like a hater, I couldn't sleep on is the score. Lord of the Rings has a phenomenal score. Like I'm the soundtrack guy. I love good soundtracks. Lord of the Rings, just absolute bops.
I was at a wedding one time, and like they're saying their vows, or like they're like, I think the ceremony is about to start. I'm like sitting there, I'm like listening to music. I was like, this is Lord of the Rings. Like, I was like,
Nice.
this is Lord of the Rings. I asked afterwards, like, is that Lord of the Rings? And they're like, yeah, that was Lord of the Rings. I was like, okay. Um, okay. So you have pirates as your new king right now. All right, pirates versus Toy Story.
Man, the score. What was it again? It's Pirates versus.
Toy Story.
I'm gonna go
It's
Toy
a
Story.
tough one. Oh, that's tough. I mean, one and two are great. Three's actually really good too.
I think
But
three is
you
the
like
worst.
four.
Yeah.
You're dumb for that.
Yeah.
Three is so good. Why would you? You like four. I don't like four. All right. I just threw this on here just for the sake of it. Madagascar versus Toy Story.
Toy Story.
All right.
I
Now,
can't believe we got. How did this happen? How we got Toy Story this deep in the thing?
well, because there's some home run hitters now. All right. Well,
Okay.
Rocky is an all-timer that you didn't even consider really.
Like
All right,
Rocky's
Toy
a
Story.
classic series. It's just not in my top 20.
All right, Toy Story versus Alien.
Man, I love Alien is in my top 10 franchises for sure, but there's so much bad. It's just that the highs are so high. I'm gonna go Alien. I'm gonna go Alien. I
Ooh.
think the highs. There's nothing.
I think
The highs in Toy
that's
Story.
inconsistent.
Well, no. I'm saying like there's higher highs and there's more of them. Like there is enough highs to match the entirety of the Toy Story thing. It's for me because I like the new stuff. I like Alien. I like Aliens. I like Romulus. I like Covenant. I like Prometheus. Was there another
Forgot
one?
about those two. No, it's
Um,
just those.
I like most of Earth. It's really just 3 and 4. I even enjoy AVP 1 and 2 for like fun, like guilty pleasure movies. It's just
All right.
really just 3 and 4 that are bad, but I could watch them. But like the peaks are it's the goat of monster movies.
Alrighty. So we got Alien versus Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
couldn't put
you
I couldn't
could
put that on too
you couldn't
early.
put it at the beginning because it just went. Even though, like, I would say no, no. I would say that quality wise, um, it's about like there with Alien. I would say that the worst Jurassic movies before Rebirth came out, I'd say the worst Jurassic movies are still better than the worst Alien movies. But uh, now
I
I
still
would
think
say
Rebirth is
now I
better
would
than
say no. Now I would
Alien
say
4.
that like there's one Jurassic movie that's on par with like the worst Alien movies.
Alien 4 and 3 are like probably unwatchable. They're closer to unwatchable than watchable.
I don't think so. I think they're
Okay.
watchable. They're just not great. They're
How
not
do you
good.
fumble David Fincher like that? Okay. So Jurassic Park over Alien. So Jurassic Park is your new king. Jurassic Park versus the Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Over Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park is my favorite IP. The Mission Impossibles is quite possibly the best like consistent franchise. Like
I'm
it's
shocked.
great. I love Jurassic Park. They've had like a string of misses. I love 1, 2, and 3. I love 1's my favorite movie. I love 1. I love 2. I love 3. I like World. Um, Fallen Kingdom's kind of a miss. Dominion has a lot of problems. I hate Rebirth. And I've tried the shows. Just I don't know if those are even factor in. But
I rewatched.
there's like one.
I rewatched.
There's like one legitimately like bad-ish Mission Impossible movie out of the 8 that there are. The worst of the rest of them are like 7.75s. Everything else is like everything besides 2 is like 7.5 or higher, and they're all like 8s or 9s or 10s.
I just foresaw the last part of this list. You just being like, "Oh, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park."
Well, you gave me bangers. I'm hoping. Well, although I don't know what you can beat. Well,
Jurassic. So
there's a few things that I'd have to think about. If you have there's a few other things you could have here.
I'm curious.
There's a few that I thought of earlier that I was like, if you say these, they're probably going to beat Hunger Games, but you just never said them. But I don't think they would win at this point. So
I rewatched the Jurassic Parks this past summer, and I'm a huge number 2 defender.
Oh yeah, me too, absolutely.
I love number 2.
There is like a huge amount of the fan base that hates 2, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Rewatching it though, I was kind of like,
I can understand why people don't like 3, kind of, but I think they're wrong. I love 3 as well.
Yeah,
I think the first 3, in my opinion, I think even World, I think the first 3 are such a like marginal step above everything that comes after. I think World is better than, or I mean, I think 3 is better than World even. Like, people think that's crazy. People think that World is like the best or the second best, and I'm like, no.
Like, I think World's the first or second best.
Yes, there's a lot of people who have World at their number 1 or their number 2 for the series, and I think that, sorry, you guys are crazy.
I think
I put them in release order, except for I moved Dominion above Fallen Kingdom. I think it's like a half point.
So during my rewatch, I was very much I actually had number 2 at my number 1 spot, mainly because I love the T-Rex in the city. Like, that just was always
part of the movie, but I wish it was better.
I love that.
I like the concept. I don't think it was executed well.
After the rewatch of the first 3, I was kind of like, the first Jurassic Park is the best.
It's so good.
You can't beat it.
It's so good.
You can't beat it.
It's so good.
You can't beat it. I was watching it with my wife, and every scene, she's like, "That's this one." She's like turning to me. She's like, "This movie is a banger. It's got every iconic scene is in this one."
Yes.
And I was like,
like, movies are constantly referencing it. Stranger Things references everything. Stranger Things is the reference show, but they referenced it a couple times. Anaconda referenced Jurassic Park. Like, there's a thing where they're driving and the Anaconda is like in their rearview mirror thing or whatever. Like, they use that in Toy Story too. They do that. Dinosaur overboard, and he's like, ah, like, yeah.
Yep. I think I agree with you though. After rewatching it, it's in release order, except for Jurassic World might be above 3, but Dominion would be over Fallen Kingdom. I think I might actually put Rebirth over Fallen Kingdom as well. But anyway, that's basically. You're good.
I do not. So well, I mean, for my levels. But yeah. So all right, but it's not moving on. It got knocked out in 1 round. What are you doing?
That's crazy.
It's my favorite IP, but I don't. It's not as consistent. It's not as good. I mean,
I'm curious.
Like,
I honestly have them all covered.
I honestly don't know if you can beat Mission Impossible. I think that's peak. Like, when I think of like top 3 of my favorite film choices of all time, those are 2 of them. And they might be the top 2. I don't know if you can beat it. I'd have to really think about it, and it depends on what else you say.
Okay.
I don't have anymore.
So just for kicks and giggles, Mission Impossible is your new king right now, and it's going up against Godzilla.
Mission Impossible.
Not even a thought.
I like Godzilla, but no, it's
All right, Mission Impossible versus the Indiana Jones franchise.
Mission Impossible. I like Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. I'd put
I like Indiana
I'd put
Jones.
Indiana Jones up there with Rocky. Like those would be a harder choice for
No.
me.
Indiana Jones is like 50%. No, I'm sorry. It's about the first three were good. 4 and 5 were awful. Rocky, at least the first 4 were good. Rocky's also got Creed in it, so
Yeah, do you like the Creed movies?
they're solid.
I
They're
think
not
I
bad.
watched
They're
the
good.
first one when it first came out. When 3 was coming out, I was hearing a lot of good stuff about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch the Creed movies finally. So I watched them. I really liked both, and I just never got around to watching 3, so I still haven't watched it.
I think 3 is probably they're not, none of them are bad, but I
Right, yeah.
think 2 might be the best. 1 or 2
I
might be the
liked
best.
that
3
they tied in
is
the whole
bottom.
like I mean because I want them to be fan service movies. I want them to be. I don't want them to just. I want like I like the Drogo aspect because before growing up was
The
my
Drago,
favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, so I like that angle a lot.
Okay, so in Mission Impossible you put over Indiana Jones, so Mission Impossible still going on. Um, Mission Impossible versus Harry Potter.
Yeah, that was probably that was the other one.
Yeah, that's what I thought it might get you. I did not think Mission Impossible would be the sticking point. I'll be completely honest. This
I don't
is
know
a leap for
how.
me.
I've been on record as saying that might be the with that like in our conversations the best. It's definitely the best action movie series out there. You've got like my favorite like IP of all time, which was Jurassic Park. You've got my favorite fantasy IP. Well, not my favorite. It's not my favorite IP, but it's my favorite that have movies because Aragon would be my favorite. But I think that the Harry Potters are really consistent. Man, I guess I don't think any Harry Potter. How many are there? There's 8. There's 8, so that they're a good.
They
And I don't think there's
or
any.
and
There's
you can
no.
count the what's it, Fantastic Beasts movies as well. I haven't seen those.
Even including those, there's nothing. There's nothing in Harry Potter as bad as Mission Impossible 2. And I don't hate Mission Impossible 2. It's very dated. It feels like
That's what I
that
hear.
time. Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't. I don't think I saw that one. I think that's the only one I haven't seen actually.
It's weird. It feels kind of like a MTV music video or something. Like it's like the way it's shot is weird. It kind of stands out. It's really
That's
weird.
what I heard.
But like it's still a movie like with a plot and everything. It's still Mission Impossible, but it's
Is
the worst one.
it a hot take? I think Mission Impossible Fallout is probably the most. It's a good movie, but it's I think the most overrated of the franchise.
I don't know if that's how much of a hot take that would be because it's like it might
Well,
just be
a lot
by
of
default the answer because like it's one of if not the highest rated one, so by default it might be the most overrated because
it's just when I hear people talk about the franchise, they have that ranked at like 1 or 2, and I'm
that's
like,
the one with
I
Henry
would
Cavill,
take.
right?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
take. Well, Rogue Nation's actually my favorite.
Rogue Nation's
Um,
great. I think Fallout's great. I think Rogue Nation's great. I think
Ghost
Ghost
Protocol
Protocol
is
are great.
awesome.
I think 3. I want to rewatch them. I'm waiting for like a box set to come out with the all 8 of them.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd have
but
to rewatch
for the
3.
longest time. 3 was my favorite. Oh man, 3 was so.
I'd have to rewatch it.
Um,
Harry Potter's though.
it's got to be Harry Potter. I'm gonna go Harry Potter.
Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter.
Whoa.
That could
I'm
change.
including the Hobbits,
That could change later.
I'm including the Hobbits.
No.
No, Harry Potter.
I will say it
All right, and
absolutely
then-
has better world building and lore, but I just don't know it yet.
All right. Unless I'm forgetting one, my last one, Star Wars.
I guess Harry Potter wins.
Is there a franchise that you were thinking of that I didn't mention?
I was thinking of some of the more like earlier on when we were stuck on the Hunger Games for a long time. I was like, man, Kung Fu Panda. Like I was thinking of DreamWorks
I didn't
stuff.
go too much.
I was like Kung Fu
I didn't-
Panda, How to Train Your Dragon. You did Shrek. Like those would have been. I like those more than Shrek. Way more than Shrek.
I I pulled a lot of these. That's crazy. I pulled a lot of these from a list. Some of them I added just for like little, hints of flavor, like Sonic and Madagascar, just to get like something. But yeah. Okay. Well, I guess Harry Potter is your top movie franchise.
I
Um,
mean, not me
not
personally, but I think that out of the ones you listed, it's technically the best.
What would you? Oh, that's just not true. But who? Then what would you put as your favorite?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah. It would be Jurassic Park top, and then it would be like when I said the top three, you'd have my favorite IP of all time, which would be Jurassic Park. But it has like half of it is not nearly as good as the other half of it. Where I would say that like the majority, like at least 60 to 70% of the Mission Impossibles are in the same area as the top like two or three Jurassic Parks. But then I would say like 7 or 8 of the Harry Potters are in that same section. So like of like quality, like they're just bangers.
That was fun. We heard you disrespect a lot of awesome movie franchises. You guys can kill them in the comments for disrespecting Planet of the Apes. Didn't even have a conversation about
Nope.
that one.
Nope. Moving on.
Um,
Hey, you didn't.
I'm glad you
You didn't
respected
even
Pirate.
include Avatar. So that would have beat Planet of
Uh,
the Apes.
you've only seen two of them. You got to have at least three movies to be on this list.
Okay. Um,
I could have, because I also could have included Sherlock Holmes with RDJ. Love those movies.
those are fun movies. I don't know if they would have gotten very far. They wouldn't have probably knocked much out. But okay. Man, I guess I should
Hmm.
do it with you next time. Maybe next time I'll do it with you, and I'll do like obscure TV shows. 'Cause we were talking about doing like a Cartoon Network bracket or something like that. But I could come up with a list of like, how many of those did you have? Do you have a number?
I because of ones I added, I was at 21.
Okay, yeah, I could probably do like 20 to 25 like TV shows that we grew up watching. Or because I think that there was some of those in there that I haven't seen, wasn't there? Like Fast, I've only seen one or two of.
I thought you had seen all those though. Like there were movies series that I didn't include that were on the list I was reading, because I was like, he's never seen these. I
What
think
was the
he's
list? Did you just
seen
look
the
up like
rest.
top movie franchises or something?
Yeah, it was like a Collider article, and I just kind of like typed them into here in an order that I thought would be entertaining to give you, because I think they had um Jurassic Park at like 30 or something. Like I was like, what the heck? But I didn't want to put it at the very end, beginning of the list, so I was like, let me move that to a spot where it can compete a little. But yeah, that was fun. That was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on making one of those for next time, and I'm gonna probably do a combination of TV shows from like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel that like we would have watched growing
That's gonna
up.
be a
Especially,
lot.
well, I'm only gonna do like 20 to 25,
Obscure ones.
not obscure
Okay.
ones, but just like kind of like ones we grew up with ish. Some of them might be. I might have to do a few extras. Maybe I'll do up to like 30 or whatever because I feel like I'm gonna have ones that you aren't as familiar with as others. I feel like we,
Okay.
we both kind of fell off of like cartoons around the same time. So like our other brothers, or at least the youngest one, was in the age that was like into the ones that I fell off on, like Regular Show and Adventure Time or whatever, like that
Adventure
area.
Time.
Crowder, not
And I
Crowder, Chowder.
consumed that with him. He would play that all the time, so I consumed that with him a little bit. Um,
Yeah, I can
Regular
never
Show's
get into
good.
them.
I didn't like
I
Adventure
I
Time
don't
that
like either of
much.
them. Um, but so I don't. But like when I think of like a lot of these shows, even though we watch some of them like growing up like around the house or like when we go to like our grandparents or whatever, I think of like our grandpa's house in North Carolina. Like we
Yeah.
watched a lot of shows there. So, but like,
Yeah.
you're aware? Did you watch some of the older stuff like Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls, or is that too
Yeah.
old for you? Okay.
So Powerpuff Girls, I probably don't have enough. Well, for those shows, it's more of vibes. I can't remember like what happened in specific
You
episodes.
know what? I'll do a
It's just like, oh,
32 and
remember,
we'll do a bracket. That's what I'll do.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. That's what I'll do. I'll get that set up for next time. All right. All right. Anything else before we go? Is that all you got?
I think that's all we got.
Okay. All right. Stay safe out there, everybody. I think at least a couple of our faithful listeners are in the area that's going to be hit by this storm. Also, so make sure you stay safe, stock up, whatever you got to do. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. Also, let me know how the new camera setup. Should I keep it here or should I move it back to where it was? Just let me know which way is better for you guys if you made it this far. All 5 of you, whatever. All right. So I'll see you guys later. That's been Ben. I'm Justin, and we'll see you guys later. Mask and Cowl out.